Hi everyone and welcome to Enlightened Conversations. My name is Leanne the Barefoot Medium and I am a psychic medium, a spiritual healer, a spiritual teacher, twin flame connector and a psychic detective. I am also an author of a couple of books that I've written, which I'll give you details about later. Today's episode, I am so incredibly excited to have Angelina joining me. And we are going to talk to you today about soul alignment and manifesting. And so what I'd like to do is briefly introduce Angelina. Angelina is an Argentinian goddess who is bilingual. She's a shamanic healer, a medicine woman, a Reiki Master, Theta Healer, and she's fluent in both English and Spanish. So Angelina is going to really allow me to practice my Spanish skills as well, because while I am Australian, I'm currently living in Santa Marta, Colombia, South America. So welcome, Angelina. Do you want to tell everyone who you are and what you do?
What a pleasure to be here, Michelle. It's such an honor. It's so exciting to be able to speak about these two subjects, soul alignment and manifestation, one of our favorite subjects. It's just, so exciting, like I'm beaming, of excitement. So my name's Angelina and I'm actually from Argentina originally, and, my family, came to Australia and I've started my spiritual journey here. I've been a psychic clairvoyant medium. I'm clairsentient too, and I am a healer. So I use my Reiki and my Theta healing. I also do intuitive drawings and I make drums, and so pretty much I've learned all the tools that I have to be able to help you to get into your alignment, to be able to help you move forward, to be able to achieve what you want to achieve in this lifetime, and to remove all the blockages and to heal, to grow. So that's why I'm more of a modern medicine woman. Yeah, that's what I would kind of call myself. So I'm just here. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Angelina, do you want to do a little bit in Spanish and a little bit of in English today, or for today's show, or what do you want to do?
Whatever spirit wants us to do. So
do you want to explain who you are in Spanish for everyone who's listening?
Hola y bienvenidos a todos. Es un placer de estar aquí con todos, que son almas hermosas, viste, que están conectando acá con nosotros. Es un placer de poder ayudarlos a ustedes a encontrar el camino correcto, ayudarlos a ustedes a poder dejar las cosas atrás y tener paz por adentro. Y nosotros somos videntes y curanderas y estamos aquí para asistirlos a ustedes, viste, en el camino. Tenemos nosotros nuestros guías, nuestros ángeles, de que nos ayudan a nosotros a poder ayudarlos a ustedes. Así que en nuestro programa vamos a poder asistirlos a ustedes para encontrar el camino correcto, viste, para encontrarlos a ustedes mismos, viste, es tu camino, viste, en esta vida, viste, para lograr lo que ustedes quieren. Así, vamos a manifestar bien.
Ah, bien, gracias, mi amor. So I will give my first practice a go at explaining who I am in Espanol. So please forgive my Spanglish in amongst it for those of you who do speak perfect Spanish. So bienvenido, mi nombre es Leanne. Yo soy medium internacional, detectiva psíquico, conecta de alma y mala, profesor espiritual y escritor. Y originalmente de Australia, pero vivo en Santa Marta, Colombia ahora. En el episodio de hoy estamos hablando de alineación y manifestación del alma.
You're fantastic. Even my Spanish is rough around the edges. It's hard to switch the Spanish to the English, and from me, like the English to the Spanish and Spanish to the English, it's a little bit hard. But
and look, it fits beautifully with our topic for tonight or today's show, which is all around soul alignment and what that actually means. So what I want to start off with you, Angelina, is just ask you, what does the soul mean for you? What does that mean?
That's a good question. For me, so this is for me. This is just our vessel. So we are light energy, just like the Creator. So that's our soul. That's our connection to the Creator, the energy. So that's what it is to me. So we're just part of the Creator. It's pretty much just, we're just that's what it is. It's just something more greater than actually to be able to put it into words. That's how I see us.
Yeah. And look, for me as a medium, I'm often connecting people with their loved ones who passed over. And, for me, the soul is just something that we have in our physical body. It's just energy or vibration or, that essence of who we are. And we're here in this physical world in a physical body, but we take our soul and our energy and our vibration everywhere that we go. And that kind of fits beautifully with what we want to talk about today. And just, I know that and you and I have many conversations about soul aligning and manifesting and what are we creating. So we both decided that we wanted to share that with you guys today and just have a really open, honest, raw, soul-based conversation.
Yeah.
So what's alignment? What do we talk about when we mean alignment with your soul?
Okay. So what it is, it's sort of like us being in our vortex. So if you can imagine you being at peace with everything, happy, no stress. So this is you actually doing what you're meant to be doing. So you're going with the flow, movement forward with everything. So when we're not in our alignment, that means that we're not in, the connection between you and the Creator. You're sort of out of whack, a bit depressed, you're a little bit lost. You're not in alignment with what you're meant to be doing. Not following your heart. You're not listening to what Spirit is actually telling you to do either. So you're just that's why so many people get depressed, and that you are not in alignment with or following what your heart's actually telling you to do.
Yeah, and I think that's really key. What you're talking about there is going, and I noticed you bring in the word not on your path or depression or, sometimes it brings up frustration or confusion or people just being really uncertain about, what is their path? What are they meant to do? And how are they meant to be in the world, And so I kind of want to bring it back to that everyday stuff and go, how do we know what we're here to do in order to align? What are we aligning with, And those heart desires are really key, aren't they?
Yes. And I just feel like most of us, we're actually being programmed to be told what to do in this lifetime. And what the key thing is that we need to listen to our knowing. So it's sort of like closing your eyes and just sort of like listening to the voice that's within ourselves. Yes, you will have challenges in your life, in your journey to be able to sort of like it's like a learning progress. Our soul's here to actually evolve, to grow. So everything that comes our way is sort of like little tests that sort of like shows us, okay, no, I don't really want to. I don't want to be a teacher, Mum. I actually, want to be a dancer. That kind of a thing, I want to be a Spanish dancer, or I want to go and live in Colombia, Mum. I don't want to live in Australia. That kind of a thing. So to, a lot of us would actually sit in what everybody else wants us to do. That's not a soul alignment. That you're not listening to where your heart's been pulled. What about if you're meant to go to Colombia and to be able to transform and change so many great things and connect with so many people, and that's your purpose, to be able to follow what it is that you're meant to be doing. And a lot of us, we get lost because we get stuck in what others want, what society wants, what religion wants, what everything else wants, and not listening to what our souls actually is pulling us to do. So, yeah.
I think there's a lot of such awesome information in there to share with people. And one of the things that, you know, I want to expand on a little bit is expectations, you know, and as a soul, as an individual being, we all have certain skills and abilities or passions that really drive us forward in what we want to do in life. And we grow up with surrounded by, whether it's parents or teachers or, you know, other members of families or partners or whatever, using the word should, you should. And, you know, I often say to some of my clients, stop shoulding on yourself, you know, yeah, I should do this, I should do that, or I will do this, or I will do that. You know, is that something that you heart, and that comes back to what you said about what your heart wants and following your knowing. From an intuitive perspective, everyone's got intuition and knows what their heart wants. It's just untangling from those expectations that we sometimes grow up with and think we should be doing what others expect us to do. And by doing that, we often put others' needs, wants and desires first.
Right.
How does that come in with the soul alignment stuff for you?
Well, so many times when I do readings for others, and I see so many people actually struggling in their life and so unhappy, and I'll tell them, okay, I can show you what you need to do, but you actually have to sort of like put things into practice. It is, I see a lot of people, I always tell them, you know, I just see a stick. You're always holding a stick, you're always hitting yourself because you have an expectation on yourself. Others have expectation on you, but it's actually sort of like going with the flow instead of going against what it is that you want. Because so clearly, so many people actually know what it is they want to do, but they're just either sitting in the fear of actually being able to move forward. And fear creates blockage. Fear, you know, creates all these, you know, anxieties and it just really sends you under because it just sort of like it, because you're not resonating and you're not vibrating in where you're meant to go. So that means you get stuck somewhere that you don't want to be, you know, it just makes you just so unhappy. And then you just don't know how to get out of it. And the only way for you to get out of it is for you to be able to sort of like stop worrying about what others are expecting of yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. It is a hard journey, but just try to follow your heart. Try to follow your knowing. Try to follow your intuition and what you feel. And I encourage people to be able to use their intuition and use their knowing in this lifetime because they're great tools. You always will see the road ahead and you will always be able to see remove the blockages that are being created in front of you, which most of the time is yourself. It's you. You need to get out of your own way and follow what it is that that you're meant to be doing, and you'll know what you're meant to be doing because it feels good. You feel excited. You get into a different vibration. You just go, that's it, I'm going. There you go.
Yeah. And, you know, there's so much stuff there that I want to explore with you around, you know, what is vibration and what is energy. And, you know, we learn about the law of attraction being about our words create our reality. But it's so much more than that. And I really liked how you talked about blockages being get out, you know, and saying get out of your own way, because really any blockages or challenges are just illusions that we've created somewhere along the way. Whether it's through fear, like you mentioned, which for me, from an energetic perspective or a vibrational perspective, there's either love or there's fear. You know, and which one are you sitting in? And every other emotion that you feel sits underneath one of those two. And if you're sitting in that love vibration space, then you're going to be flowing with where your heart's drawing you to and what you're wanting to create, and moving towards your desires or your goals or whatever it is. And whereas if you're sitting in confusion, frustration, disappointment, hurt, sadness, depression even, that all comes under the fear banner, where you're really, just looking back often at the past, or if there's anxiety or worry coming up, you're looking too far ahead, and you're not in the moment, and you're really just creating the block to keep you stuck in the moment.
Yeah.
But, so from your work perspective, in terms of the healing work and the shamanic stuff that you do, what tools or techniques would you give to clients about, moving forward through fear or blockages that might come up for them?
So usually when I talk to people, I usually start off always doing a card reading and be able to just connect with them that way. If I see that it's something that is subconscious, so subconscious chatter, words that they've been using since their childhood or being told, often, and that I would like to remove that, from them, because those things are actually blockages for you. They're holding you back, and even though it could be so far in the past, it's still, the vibration is still affecting you here. It's still affecting yourself, your belief, your belief system and things like that. For me, I also like to encourage people to listen to things like Abraham Hicks, because this is a great tool. Go YouTube. I always tell my clients, go YouTube, go Abraham Hicks, whatever subject that you want, because it is about trying to change the vibration and the way you think. A lot of people actually sit in depression because of the way they think. They're always negative chatter with their voice, also negative chatter in their minds. So what does that do? That vibrationally, you're not okay. Sometimes it starts affecting your health. So when I start seeing you in that kind of a thing, I will suggest maybe a Reiki treatment. So for me, I will, take you to do Reiki, which is, I want to clean out your aura. I want to clean out your channel. I want to clean out your third eye. I want to make sure that your chakras are in alignment and actually clean. Anything that we need to work out, do psychic surgery too, so I can try to remove anything that is within the body. And then I use essential oils. I like to use essential oils, whether it's lavender or maybe I'll suggest something to be able to drink, to actually help you out too, whether it's with your digestive or just about uplifting. So certain senses and smells can uplift you too, especially if it's in depression. And I use my medicine drum too. So I use the drum to raise your vibration, because you need to be in a certain vibration to be able to move forward. Yeah, I can keep on going, blah, blah, blah.
No, I think it's but I think it's really interesting. And, one of the tools that you talked about was looking at their thoughts, and, it's a lot of the work that I do as well is helping people change their mindset or look at what limiting beliefs may be sitting underneath things that are, kind of pulling them back because they believe it to be true, so it has to be true. And often our words and our thoughts will give us an indication of what beliefs we have sitting in amongst it. Like, people who use the word, I can't do that because, well, why not? It's just, your logical mind limiting you from giving something a go. You can't do it because you think you can't. Well, what if you just give it a go? It doesn't mean you have to be completely and utterly 100% successful, but, you can give it a go. And the word but, which I just used myself. So it's a matter of being conscious and aware of what words you're using. And but for me is doubt. And Spirit always says to me, catch yourself when you say the word but, and change it to and.
Yes.
you know, and that just shifts your perspective significantly. I can't do that, but it kind of drops your energy down as well. And so I think, you know, bringing back that law of attraction stuff is, you know, the words really are powerful. And like, you know, one of the tools that I often use is affirmations with my clients. Do you work with those? And you know, how do you recommend people use affirmations?
Well, one of the shows that I actually am on, I've been using one of your cards, you know, the cards to help to just to sort of like tell about the emotions and the feelings of the day. So sometimes I'll just pull out, and like one of the cards, can I just show? One of the cards that I pulled out today just for the show was about trust. And this is one of the things too that actually is one of the big things when it comes to manifestation, because in soul alignment and everything, it's about your trust and belief system, and how, you know, how much faith you really have. Yes, I believe in God. Yes, I believe in the Creator. Yes, I believe that there is good things. But I feel like most of the thing is about belief that you deserve, you know, goodness to come into your life. The trust that you actually have guides and spirit is actually helping you and got your back. You know, to be able to put you in alignment, to be able to put you on in the road, to be able to achieve what it is what you want. For example, work. It could be work. You might have the chatter of everybody else around you saying, you know, you're a male and there's no way you can be a ballerina. I say, you know what? I suggest that you just go get your tutu and you need to go out there and have some fun and do what you need to do. Because I'm going to tell you, being in an alignment, that the fact that you know that you're different, I say, fantastic. I love different people. To be able to be in alignment, to be able to be in that vibration that you're going to dance your little tutu off and you're going to be happy and not care about what anybody else says. You're in a high vibration there. You are in an absolute, because you're in love. You're in high vibration. It's like, I would definitely go and see you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to not being in alignment, is actually sitting there in your room, you know, your father telling you or somebody else telling you, you're not going out there in that, you know, and you know, what are people going to be thinking of you? That's all not in alignment with you, and you're meant to, as a soul, go, but you know, I like to be different. I like to stand out, and because I stand out is the thing that's going to make me be noticed in this lifetime, and it's going to make me be happy in this lifetime. And I'd rather be that than be sitting in my room being miserable. Or because
and I think I want to expand on the word, you know, in alignment again, because, you know, for me that's all about you know, setting it and bringing in the manifesting stuff. What you're talking about is following your heart's desires, which is what a lot of people mean when they're talking about manifesting or creating or, you know, goal setting or vision boarding or whatever you want to call it. Really, it's just about setting an intention of what it is you want to create. Now, when you set that intention, you're really using your words or your thoughts, which is one form of energy. And you mentioned the emotion side, which is really where that energy and that vibration comes in. Is, are you in love? Are you in that love space, or are you in fear, or whatever it is that comes underneath that? And trust would come under love, doubt would come under fear. So, you know, if we bring those two things in and then bring in actions, so what steps and actions are you taking in your everyday life to move yourself towards your goal or your intention or your desire? And for me, that soul alignment means that, you know, what you're intending, what you want to create is something that is, you know, loving and that you're passionate about. and that your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are all aligned with that. Like, they're not opposite to it. You can't say, and the thing that, as I sit here, I'm going, you can't say that you want to, lose weight or, eat better, but and so you've got this beautiful big pineapple that just happens to be sitting beside me, but then you're eating junk food, where are your actions in that regard? If your intentions are to eat a healthier foods and drop weight, but you're not aligned with it because you're going about doing other things. Do you know what I mean? So I think using a really simple analogy with something that was just at hand, I wanted to give people a bit of an idea of what we mean by soul alignment. Is your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, are they, moving you towards what you want or away from it?
Yes. Like we said, words are vibrational, thoughts are vibrational. So most of the clients that I have, I usually tell them, I just want you to focus on what it is you want, what it is exactly what you want. Look at the picture of it. How does it feel? How do you feel in it? How do you look in it? And just be there. You're there already. You have it. You have it. We have it. Sometimes we get into the fear and uncertainty of the whole in between bit. How, when, what? All that is not you being in alignment with everything. So it's just because then you start just going, from side to side, on your road. But if you don't worry about the details, because spirit sort of like takes care of all that, the energy takes care of all that, and you're in this positive mode, you got it. So it's like I've so in one way of speaking, it's like this: I've done my prayer out to the universe. I've asked my prayer to God, and now I'm trusting, and I believe that I'm going to have it. I'm going to receive it. To doubt or to say the words, but knowing me and my luck, because I have no luck, it's just not going to happen. It's just for me. Nothing ever good happens for me. So nothing ever good is going to happen for you. So change those thoughts and start just thinking about and trusting. It is about belief and faith and trusting. Blind faith. That's what it is. It's really blind faith. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I think it's good that we're getting kind of practical about, well, how do we manifest, and then how do we stay in alignment with our soul? So that visualization. Yeah, no, it's good. It's just a conversation, which is what I love about it, because that's when things just flow. And yeah, that's how manifesting is. It can be messy at times, and it can bring up stuff that you have to move through and shift and, let go of, whether it's a, unhealthy thought pattern or limiting belief or whatever, or emotions. And that's where I want to bring in the emotion side. How do we trust and have faith when we come into feeling really angry or really upset or hurt or disappointed? And I think what people need to remember is that if you don't acknowledge any negative emotion, supposed negative, and it's not negative or positive, it just is, what those emotions are there for, whether it's confusion or, hurt or disappointment or anger, is just to tell you that whatever you're experiencing is not a match, if I can use that word, to what you intended to create. So it's kind of like you have to look at that emotion or that whatever's being presented and acknowledge that it's not a match, but you have to allow yourself to feel it and move through it. And I think that's where people get stuck in the manifesting process. And then when that emotion comes up, not sure how to deal with it, because a lot of kids, for example, we're not taught to express or allowed to express fully. You know, like lots of kids get told, shh, be quiet when they're upset, rather than allowing them to do that. And they get over it and move on, you know. Yeah. But as adults, a lot of us have learned to bottle or to hold on to, which is that action that doesn't support what we want. And sometimes that puts us into those sabotage patterns, which are the actions, which are control or impatience, or, you know, how do I make this happen? And you get acting, and you create more chaos than, you know, or you destroy what it is that you're trying to create. So there's lots of different ways that people sabotage their own progress as well. So what would you say what tip would you give to people after, you know, we've set the desire, we've got to stay focused in that positive mindset and know that it's coming and trusting. What would you suggest to people, you know, use their 3 tips or techniques that you would use to stay in alignment and make sure that you know, just pretty much allow the universe to bring you what you're asking for? Have you got 3 tips for people?
Okay, so like we've said before, Leanne and I, we just talk about things, and we support each other, and we catch each other on things. And one of the things that, like I said to you before, is like, for me, I'm a great believer in Abraham Hicks. I will brainwash you into it, because the things, like I said, if you can actually get it and listen to it until the cows come home, it is the best tool ever. Another thing is for anxiety. Every time you find yourself in an emotional, you know, just okay, well, I've gotten angry, or something's triggered you, or something's made you wobbly in what it is to believe that you're able to get what you want. For me, things like meditation, and clearing your chakras, meditations, that's fantastic, because, you know, sometimes those things are just out of whack. And maybe, for an example, if you needed to speak to someone about something, so clearing up your throat chakra is your communication area. So just try to do little tools like that. Cleansing, clearing. Go into the beach, you know, or go have a shower, go have a bath. Clearing out your aura. Try to remain calm. Use tools to always try to bring you back into getting rid of the anxiety of everything and the worry. Then just really just let go, let God. Let go, let God. Okay? Just release this energy of worry off your mind, sort of like taking off a cap. Okay? And just leaving it in their hands, and they'll take care of it. You need to trust that it will happen. And another thing, Leanne, when it comes to the emotions and the journey, because this is a journey that you're having, the triggers that actually get brought up, if you want to go more deeper into it, it is about you sort of like getting rid of all the rubbish before you're in alignment to what you want. So don't look at it as so negative, like, oh my God, you know, I went downhill. Don't look at it like that. Actually start asking yourself questions. Why am I feeling like this? Why is this being brought up? And then sort of like start clearing that out and letting that go. And what it is actually you're shifting. You're removing everything that is of the past and everything that is negative out of you, so you can be in alignment with where you want to be and who you want to be with, and so on.
Beautiful. Yeah. And look, I know you and I could talk about this for forever, and you know, it's one of the things that I love about the work I do as well. And you know, with my soul sessions, I often channel some of Abraham that, you know, you talk about, which is around the law of attraction stuff. And I know that you work with some of my cards as well, and I'm just going to take the chance to, you know, this is for those of you who like physical tools in your hand to help and support you. These cards are affirmations, so they help you work on your thoughts. And I'll get you, Ange, to hold up the emotion ones if you can. So Angelina has a deck of my emotion cards, which help you look at what vibration are you sitting at right now, or what do you need to shift and what do you need to clear. And then there's the action cards, which really do tell you what it is that you need to take action on. So the 3 decks work together to help support you in manifesting and creating and getting into alignment with what it is that you want. So, oh my God, we could just go on and on and on, but I know that we've got to kind of start wrapping up for today's show. So I just want to get you to share with people, if you can, where they can find you and how they can contact you. And if you can do that in both English and Spanish, in case we do have some Spanish listeners, that would be awesome.
Okay. I'll start off in Spanish. Para poder comunicarse conmigo, yo tengo un email que es angelinapsychic846@gmail.com. Y también en este programa hay un link de que puedes apretar ahí y puedes llegar a comunicarte conmigo para leer las cartas o poder capaz que hacer un poco de mandar buenas energías para ustedes. So it's angelinapsychic846@gmail.com. And you can also look at the link here on the show, and you'll be able to find more information about me. And it's been wonderful being able to contact and be able to give these messages to the beautiful souls that are out there. And it's been a pleasure to be able to.
And you know, I know Angelina pulled a card for you know, the emotion for the episode, and I just pulled one for the affirmation. I'm willing to believe that I am appreciated. So I want to share that with all our viewers as well. And then the action card that comes along with that is cleanse.
Yes.
So when we say cleanse, it's looking at, like you said, clearing out, and it's a bit like dropping milk on the floor. You have to mop it up. So get cleansing, get clearing, create the space for what it is that you want. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched this episode. And as I said, my name's Leanne. You can connect with me through my website, thebarefootmedium.com.au, or check out the Enlightened Conversations website as well. So thank you all so very much for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.
Bye.